Hello everyone, today we're going back to the Roman Empire with Wargames Atlantic, checking out their Citizens of Rome in collaboration with Footsore Miniatures and Games. Okay, the Citizens of Rome, box set in collaboration with Footsore Miniatures and Games alongside Wargames Atlantic for Footsore's Gangs of Rome 2nd edition, although 1st edition as well. 30 multi-part 28mm figures, allowing you to build your Roman civilians. Get a bit of a background here about assembling your gangs, essentially, what you can do with. So taking a look at one of the sprues, 5 in the box, 6 models per sprue is your 30. They are 2-piece torso and leg. So see here we have some of the legs, which have all got short sort of bottoms of tunics or a type of nappy affair tucked in. Then we have our bodies, so 5 upper torsos, mostly topped with tunics. This one's got one sleeve off, this one's bare. Then we also have this, which is a 2-piece, although you might be able to get away with just having this without the cloak on the side, just having a very small cape at the back if you didn't want to have the sort of cloak and dagger look. As far as equipment goes, starting at the top, we have what looks like a spathia, so not a gladius, but the longer cavalry version. A couple of greaves for the legs, some bare arms, a hatted head, assortment of arms, bows, daggers, and pieces like that. When you are assembling them, keep an eye, because, for example, for the bow, there is one without a tunic sleeve, one with. Likewise, for the arms drawing back the bowstrings, there's one with and one without, just so you don't suddenly end up with a sleeve without a tunic attached to it. We have a singular shield, just a little round embossed shield, and a whole host of axes and others, a couple of pila, a couple of spears, a few bits of non-committal pieces. So we have a walking stick, and then there's a couple of amphora being carried as well. And then towards the bottom we have the heads and some slings. There's also a few fists, like here, that are either open or throwing rocks, which means you can clip off maybe this club hand here and just add somebody lobbing a rock at somebody's head. Heads, we have, like I say, a couple on the sprue at the bottom, and then we have these 10, 12, 2, 4, 6, 12 at the top, and then the gladiatorial helm here as well. So plenty of options in there. If we take a look at some of the built figures, we'll get a better idea. All right, so first couple that I've built to be sort of civilians. In Gangs of Rome, you can use a mob, so the citizens themselves of Rome wandering around, people doing their day-to-day work, while gangs are up to their nefarious business. So I've got some poor servant attempting to hoik a couple of amphora with him, which is, lovely. And then he's accompanied here by somebody with a cloak, hat and stick, so a traveller, a beggar, salesman. It's entirely up to you. Depends how you paint them up as well, I suppose, as to whether or not they're rich or poor. Size-wise, by the way, the figures are just under 28mm to eye level for this guy, although he is striding. If I find one of our more uprights, in fact, Spearman's probably the best one to do that with. the most of upright. He's pretty much bang on 28 to eye level. As far as warriors go then, so I've made up a spearman with that shield. Also got this fellow with the mask on and the Sikia, the Trake's gladiator's sword of choice. Have a bowman made as well. So when you do 2 bow per sprue, so theoretically you can get 10 out of a box of 30 models, which isn't a bad return on investment as far as weaponry goes. And then finally I have one of the gladiators. Put greaves on both his legs for my own personal amusement. Doesn't necessarily have to be like that. In a lot of cases, the leading leg would have a greave on it and they wouldn't bother having one on the back leg. So, in fact, with that helm, which is very close to the griffin helm for Trake's, that sword would be spot on for him. The only thing is there's no shield. He should have a palmera. It's like a half-sized scutum, one of the rectangular legionnaire shields. And that, I think, is, there's plenty of options in here for Gangs of Rome, obviously. So there's a lot of blades, daggers, clubs and axes. Not many bows, as you would expect. Not many people are going to be running around with bows and spears and pila in the middle of the street because it's difficult to hide them from the populace and the guards. But as a foundation for Spartacus' revolt, the Third Servile War, this, I think, has a lot of potential if there's some more weapons and armour added to it. So we only have that one shield. Obviously having the rectangular shield would be much better. Because while they started out as a revolt of like 70 or 80 gladiators who were slaves at a gladiatorial school, they broke out, essentially fled their captivity. And then the first time Rome sent people against them, they got a thrashing. So sort of word spread and more people joined them. And over the next 2 years, that group of 70, 80 gladiators went to 120,000 before they finally got absolutely tarred by the legions. So having generic fighters with a hodgepodge of weaponry like this is perfect for the slave revolt. Just needs some more heavy armor. Some of the stuff stolen from the legionnaires. If Wargames Atlantic, Hudson, you legend, if you wanted to do a full plastic gladiator box, then you could mix these in to get more slapdash, so you could play full gladiators with the tridents and the nets, that sort of thing, for like Sons of Mars or whatever, and then mix and match them with this box. That would be incredible as well. But yeah, really, really great box. You're never playing with many figures in Gangs of Rome, so you could potentially get 2 gangs out of that box and then still have 10, 12 models left, in which case you could make yourself 2 or 3 mob bases with civilians to go around the place as well. So a really, really good investment, I feel. So there we have it, a very comprehensive plastic box set. I'm sure you'll agree. Not just for Romans, because let's face it, Greeks, Carthaginians, Phoenicians, lots of people around the Med, all wearing similar style tunics and the like. Obviously some weapons will be more distinctively Roman than others, but also weapons travel, so there's nothing to say that you couldn't use these as a some form of skirmishing band, silo for other games. So it's always nice to have the options, and the sheer volume of options in that sprue is already great. Obviously I want more. I don't know if it's possible, Hudson, to do a a set of weapons on a plastic sprue similar to the shields, just a small half sprue with more weapons, where it's just a simple job of cutting off and gluing on new ones, because that's always handy. Or, like I said during the video, the Third Servile War, so more gladiatorial weapons, helms, the nets, tridents, that sort of thing, some looted legionaries, armour, shields, helms, ... that sort of stuff, maybe from Atlantic Digital side, so you can push the Spartacus revolt as well, and just really make it a more gladiatorial, militaristic box. I think there's a lot of potential in that box set for aggressive expansion. Let's put it like that. So yeah, love it to bits. Absolutely blown away by the quality once again. And it'll be fascinating to see what comes next. I can't imagine it will be the only box for Rome. I'd be very surprised and upset if it was. But we'll find out in future. Let me know what you think, folks, and we'll speak to you again soon. Bye-bye.
Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.